And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're blessed and highly favored here in studio with us today. Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. We're going to talk about reasons to reshop your policy, your insurance policies. That is as well. Got an interesting clip from the Kirk show about artificial intelligence making its way into the housing industry. Let's see where that takes us as well. Logan Briggs, Gulf Shield Roofing, joining us. Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry Coin as well. Coming off a great weekend also, we had an awesome event. Captain Will Smith, shout out to his whole team. Erica, Chandler, the whole team over there at Will Smith Aviation had an awesome hangar party, had a gala over there, and just amazing to see those big jets, the planes, and all of the fine people that were associated with that. Really super event that they had, raised a lot of money for hurricane victims here in Tampa Bay, so thank you to everybody that supported that. Also, our happy hour was a big hit on Thursday, so we do appreciate that. And by the way, speaking of that, we have our next third Thursday event, our gratitude party coming up, Dave, over at Lake Tarpon Turtle this time. What a good time it's going to be.
Tarpon Turtle, it's always fun over there, especially when we can pull up with the boat if you need that. Yeah. But, so first drinks will always be provided. It's still going to be provided by Joe Duffy.
Joe's actually out now. Joe's taking a leave. He's heading up to Virginia.
Good
I believe
for him.
It was with his family, with his wife. His wife got a great job up there. So Joe's not going to be doing that. But we will be providing appetizers provided by the Platinum MVP team. But Tarpon Turtle's a fun place to be.
Absolutely. The appetizers are fantastic also, but the atmosphere, last time we were there, we actually pulled the boat out, right?
Yeah, we're going to have the boat. We're going to have the boat out there, maybe a couple of boats. So bring your boats, bring your jet skis. We'll enjoy that. Starting at 6 o'clock, Tuesday, March 20th. Save the date. Thursday, it's always the third Thursday, and you're invited. Our audience is invited, so making sure if you hear my voice right now, you are invited. March 20th, 6 o'clock, Tarpon Turtle, be there, and we hope to network with you, fellowship with you, share some business stories, and we, it's one of the things that really make our day with this talk show, Jason. We bring on all these great expert contributors, and then we have these conversations on air, off air, at the different parties with our audience, because you get to hear from the folks that are affected by these different policies. So I'm sure when it comes to the insurance space, you're having conversations out there about insurance all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we do town halls or when we're out, if I'm out doing a marketing event, things like that, I mean, you get to hear a lot of people that maybe are not being affected by some of the good news that's going on in the home insurance industry.
Yes.
If it's kind of like if inflation might be going down or might be getting better, but if somebody doesn't feel it, then it's not true for them, right? So we run into a lot of that, but it gives us a lot of things that we can work on and get better on and talk about. So
you get some good feedback from the talk show out there? You're out and about, people
I do.
mentioning that?
I do.
Good.
I do. Enjoy it a lot. I enjoy doing it for sure.
Yeah.
And it's good to just be out there. My parents love it. I'll tell you that, so.
Makes your mom proud, right? Oh, yeah. So we enjoy having you on as well. Jason Mears, more from him coming up here just a moment. Florida Best Quote Insurance here on the Consumer Quarterback Show today. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We like to feature our listings on air, help our sellers sell faster for more money. Maximizing the exposure, that is our highest duty that we have to our sellers. More exposure means more people are going to know about your property for sale, which means more showings, which means more offers, better offers, which means better profit, right? So it's a chain reaction that happens, and that's what we do. We're going to help you sell faster for more money when you're selling properties, of course, buying, selling, investing, and refinancing your properties as well. Also, mortgage loan originator now. Got my mortgage license back as well. I had it in the early 2000s. 10129 Little Road, Port Richey. Got a great opportunity here. This one is an active chiropractor office. Shout out to Dr. Paul and his team. 10129 Little Road, Newport Richey, Florida, 2,337 square foot. You have over an acre of land here as well. It's an office building, commercial property, highly visible Little Road. Flexible for a variety of professional, medical, or business uses. Convenient access to State Road 52, Highway 19, Suncoast Parkway. You have 2 curb cutouts, circular driveway, over a dozen paved parking spaces, ADA compliant. exactly what you'd want if you're a business owner, you're looking to relocate. Could be potentially an architecture, real estate insurance firm, new roof installed in 2020. 10129 Little Road, Newport Richey, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in Tampa Bay, one of the best places in the nation to live, work, and play. 221 Howard Drive, one of my favorite listings here. This one is over on the beaches. Compliments of Aaron on our team. This one is a beautiful listing, multi-million-dollar listing from the Platinum MVP team. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot single family home. Exclusive Bel Air Beach location, 3-island kitchen, gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of water frontage. Bring your boats, bring your jet skis. Enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. 1 block to the beach access. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Jason in the house. Jason representing Florida Best Quote Insurance, back in studio with us, longtime friend of the show. What are you seeing out there, my friend?
A lot of good news.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good things going on. We're continuing, I know as an agency, we're continuing to add companies to our portfolio. I did some counting last week just to kind of see where we were as an independent agency. One good thing for your listeners to know is we're an independent agency that can write with whoever we can get authorized to write with. So we're not limited like some insurance companies would be to only write their product. So we have 67 home insurance companies now, 21 flood insurance companies, and 16 auto insurance companies. And we're just allowed to start writing Geico auto insurance, commercial and personal auto here in just the last few weeks as part of a test thing they're doing in the state of Florida.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you write directly with them as kind of almost like in lending, you'd call it like a correspondent lender, kind of similar?
Yeah, well, it's kind of, like State Farm and Geico have been those two companies are the most prominent ones where if you wanted to get a quote from them, you have to call a State Farm agent or you have to go call Geico or go on their website.
Right.
But Geico is doing something where they're allowing independent agencies in 5 states, including Florida, to write some auto insurance, and we just happen to be one that they selected. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Kind of like a wholesale channel, essentially, is what it sounds like. Very similar to my mortgage loan origination license. I hung it with Pioneer Mortgage Funding, and very similar. We have over 60 different lenders that we can shop. So anybody out there looking to refinance, maybe pull some cash out, maybe eliminate that private mortgage insurance, of course, purchases, and then what it also does, it opens up those niches too, right, Jason?
Yeah.
So if you have a niche with a certain age roof, et cetera, and then an example for me on the lending side as a mortgage loan originator would be, hey, I got a foreign national loan, or hey, I'm a business owner and I don't show it all on my taxes. Hey, no problem. We can do a 12-month bank statement loan, add up the deposits, and we'll use that as your income, right? Because we know you're making that as income. But that's outside of what they call conforming lending, which most of the big banks, you walk in there, they don't want to do those types of loans. They just want to see your tax returns and whatever that line number. Typically, I think it's 31. They may have changed the form, but that AGI, that adjusted gross income, that's what they're going to look at to calculate your income.
Right.
So anyways, a little bit in the weeds there.
No, that's okay. Well, we see it on our side too. I mean, as far as, you'll run into issues with underwriting guidelines or something like that. You'll have somebody come to us and say, well, I can't get insurance. My insurance is being canceled.
Yep.
We saw that over the last few years where there was a lot of stories on the news where older citizens were coming in and saying, my insurance is canceled. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And it's this misconception that your insurance company is the only one that's out there.
Right.
But there's a lot of insurance companies out there. You just need to reshop with them.
Yeah, you got to shop with it. And that's a good idea to get a review also from Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. Get a review. Give us an example or maybe a success story, Jason, where you've had somebody say, hey, they sent this review in, they sent their policy, and you reviewed that policy, and you went back to them with some good news.
Well, probably some of the biggest, and it's kind of sad and good news at the same time, but have been some of our, I've had at least 3 of these where I've had like a widow whose husband had died maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they just kind of let their policy just continue the way that it was going, pay the mortgage, and they didn't know that their policy had just been going up, incrementally over a long period of time.
Yep.
And we get their policy and we find, and as soon as you look at it, you're going, oh, they're paying way too much.
Right.
And so when you can save somebody $1,000, $2,000, sometimes $3,000 a year on their home insurance, it can be life changing for some people.
Feels good, right?
Yeah,
feels good for you.
It is.
You save people money because and let's explain that, because what happens is each year that company is typically going to add, what is it, like 3% for just continued appreciation and cost of building materials, et cetera.
They'll call it like an inflation guard is kind of a word that they'll use a lot. Some companies. And that's where it gets kind of where, and I know we were going to talk about this a little bit today, but why it's important to reshop some of these policies, because some companies will have that inflation guard where they're just going to keep adding to the replacement cost of your home year after year after year, whether that's a correct figure or not. And then there's other companies that won't change it no matter what. And so if you've got $250,000 of building coverage, 10 years from now, it might still be $250,000 of building coverage, which could be way low. So the danger is you could be underinsuring your home, or you could be overinsuring your home, depending on the type of policy you have.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. Yeah, and getting that review, shopping the quotes, these are the things that you want to do as a savvy homeowner, especially if it's been a couple of years since you haven't done that. What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have? They're looking at their policy. They're not understanding. I imagine some of it is to do with the amount of deductibles that they have versus the premium.
Well, people are wanting, there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to save money on their home insurance, and they don't know how they can do it. And one way, of course, is to check your deductibles. But the danger in that is, of course, if you don't have that money in the bank, then it's almost like you don't have insurance. We run into that with like hurricane coverage, wind coverage on a policy. Typically, that deductible is 2% of your dwelling coverage, and lenders will accept up to 5%. And so some people will go from 2% to 5%, but 5% of your dwelling coverage can be a huge chunk of money.
Yeah.
And during hurricane season, if you get hurricane damage to your home, if you don't have that money sitting in the bank to cover your deductible, how are you going to get repairs made to your house through the insurance company and file a claim? You've got to be able to afford the deductible. So that's the danger in doing that. But a lot of people don't know why they should. We already briefly talked about the replacement cost of the home. That can change from year to year. Your replacement cost could be higher than it should be, or it could be lower than it is currently on your policy. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason to do it is we've got a lot of underwriting guidelines have been softening and changing. And, with 60-something companies, your company might have a specific age limit on the roof or on the water heater, and you have that company because of that reason.
Right.
Well, maybe other companies have started loosening up some of those guidelines, and you should just reshop it just because maybe there's a company that you couldn't get written with a year ago, but now you can, and there'll be a better option. And then another thing too is anytime you have any major updates to your home, if you've replaced the roof, if you've replaced the water heater, if you've had any additions to your home made, those are going to impact the policy, and it might open up some options for you. And especially if you've replaced your roof, there's some savings that could be coming your way.
Yeah, security systems, all these different things that might be a potential for savings. Talk to Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. And I saw one of these memes floating around, only 100 days till hurricane season. It's like, oh, great. Thanks for the reminder.
I know.
But I wanted to get to this clip here. Let's go ahead and roll this tape here.
Long-term in the housing market and development, we are going to see a mass adoption of robotics replacing human beings for skilled tasks. That is not imminent, but Blake, would you say that's 5 to 10 years?
There was a viral video just the other day showing an AI-trained robot sorting groceries on a typical kitchen counter. Mm-hmm. And, it's going to start with only a handful of places are going to do it, but it's going to become more and more and
It'll
more.
be interesting to see. I look at across from our house, there's a apartment building being built, multiple units being built, but it's to me it's like, okay, how are you going to replace that guy on top of that scaffolding, that swinging a hammer, nailing down the plywood, putting the shingles on, installing the windows? How are you going to replace those guys? They're going to really have robots up there? I don't know. And then you see the robots that cut your backyard. They cut the grass, like with remote control. We'll see how that plays out. What's your thoughts?
Well, with robotics and AI, there's always a lot of talk about jobs getting replaced. And I know in mortgage industry and home insurance industry, there's been a lot of talk in the past 5 years or so about, just ignore. You don't need an agent. You don't, just go to a website and do the whole thing online. But there's always going to be people that that want a personal touch.
Yeah.
And so I think those are the jobs that I think we're going to be pretty safe in for the most part. I did see something, I don't know if you saw that, where at Orlando International Airport, they're starting to have these robotic planes,
the cars
that are going to start flying. Yeah, is that what it? Yeah, and they're going to start taking people around. That's kind of crazy, but that's good. That's good technology, right?
Hey, if it's innovation that works, I just don't want to be the first one in that thing. Let's let some other people test it. Yeah, exactly.
Keep the ones in the sky now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, right. The helicopters and the planes lately, but it's interesting to see where this whole technology thing's going to go. And I know AI. A lot of people can use it to help with research and point out trends in all this mass data. There's definitely uses for that. We've had jokes about. One of our call-ins, typical call-in from one of our shows, it's Ours Creole. Doug Clark, he said, he always has people coming in there with robots, wanting to sell him a robot to be the waiter and hand out, stack up the waiter's hand, and then the robot's going to roll over the food to the table. But in real estate and insurance, there's complicated matters there. You have to be able to know the discrepancies between certain reports, or what properties to show them, and then putting together the right contract, and then negotiating the terms. And that personal touch, I think, is something that people are going to want in their business. They're not going to want a robot in all of these different places. We're not substitutable. We're not able to be taken out. And I think J.D. Vance made a good speech over in Munich, I believe it was, Germany, where he was talking about some of the censorship going on over there and some of the other things happening. But he also said something to the effect that, the United States has a human being first and a citizen first policy when it comes to this AI and advanced robotics. So we got to take a quick break there. More with Jason Mears coming up. Florida Best Quote Insurance on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our Rumble and YouTube channels. We'll be right back.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rhymes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rhymes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out to Lee's Royal Services. If you're thinking about having a real estate property cleaned, they do a great job on our real estate properties, residential, commercial properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Home and office cleaning, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And on the exterior of the property, reach out to Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company right here in Tampa Bay. I've known Ramin, the owner, for many, many years. HeightsSoftWash.com. HeightsSoftWash.com, residential and commercial properties. HeightsSoftWash.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of hot listings here. 8107 Sierra Manor Lane, beautiful property, one of my favorites. This is a $1 million listing in Double Branch, kind of close to Oldsmar, Tampa line there. 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3-car garage, 2-story single-family home, 3,600 plus square feet, over an acre of land. You got 1.17 acres here. Beautiful granite countertops. Of course, all the updates and upgrades you would expect on the interior. Metal roof, 2023, 65-year transferable warranty on that metal roof. 130 feet of private water frontage, 6,000-pound boat lift, and a private dock. Bring your boat and jet skis up to Upper Tampa Bay. Enjoy dinner and some beautiful evenings out there, and some great fishing just around the corner as well. Snook, redfish, all types of great snapper in those waters. And a gated community there. 8107 Sierra Manor Lane in Tampa. Beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team. 2480 Baywood Drive East. This one's in Dunedin, Florida. One of the most popular areas in all of Tampa Bay, Dunedin. This is a 2-2 one-car garage, 1367 square foot single family home. Pinellas Trail, just moments away. Has been hurricane damaged, so you might be able to make an offer on this one. Baywood Shores is known for its charming mix of classic homes and custom built waterfront. Short walk to accessible beaches, waterfront dining, and everyday conveniences. Check out 2480 Baywood Drive East, Dunedin, Florida, and you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Jason Mears back in studio with us, insurance expert contributor, and we're talking about all things insurances, reasons why our audience might want to reach out and get a review. Check out, if you want to reshop that policy, kind of see, because you've mentioned there's some new insurers coming back into Florida. But what to be aware of if you're reshopping. What are those ideas?
Yeah. So, we've talked a little bit about some of the reasons why you should. The rates are always changing. If you've had major updates to your home, underwriting guidelines have kind of softened. And then also just to get a new replacement cost estimate for your home, because that can change. So those are reasons why to do it. If you're going to do it, you don't have to do these things before you call us, but if you want to get to a different company, there's some things I would say you need to be aware of. If your home is 20 years of age, or you have a 4-point inspection that's over a year old, you're probably going to have to pay for another 4-point inspection to qualify for a new policy with a different company. So be aware of that. Also, you want to know what the ages of the major systems in your home are. If you've got an older roof that's maybe over 15 years old, shingle, if you've got a water heater that's 15 years or older, those could be a problem getting insurance with a new company. 15 years is kind of the max for roofs, for shingled roofs and water heaters. I will tell you, if you go to your water heater and you can't, it doesn't have the manufacturing date, just a quick tip. It's hidden in the serial number, and you can go to the following website. It's building-center.org, and you can look up through the serial number. You can look up the age of your water heater and your AC through that website, building-center.org. So you need to know the ages of those major systems. And then lastly, you do not want to be under any major renovations, bathroom renovations, anything like that, while you're trying to get insurance. Those need to be completed, because those are going to be considered damage to the home when a inspector comes out and does a 4-point inspection.
Yeah, good point. And I think everybody's looking to save a little money right now. So if they get a review, you can have them send it over, get a review, take a look at what they're currently at, and then see how you can structure some things, maybe help bring that PITI payment down if people are escrowed. But if not, they're paying out either monthly, quarterly, something like that, save them some money.
You got nothing to lose. I mean,
exactly.
We can reshop your home insurance, your auto insurance, your flood insurance. I know we've talked mainly about home insurance today, but you've got nothing to lose. And then if it's enough savings that's worth it to you, just be aware of those things that you want to. You just check your age of your systems, make sure your 4-point inspection. You might have to get a new one, and don't be remodeling anything.
Florida Best Quote Insurance, FloridaBestQuote.com, FloridaBestQuote.com. How else can they connect with you, Jason?
You can get me by phone, 813-385-4441. My email address is jason@floridabestquote.com. You can also follow me on social media, TikTok and Instagram at Florida Insurance Tips.
Florida Insurance Tips on Instagram.
And TikTok.
TikTok. Reach out to the show, of course, if you'd like a connection, if you didn't catch that number. Jason Mears always bringing great knowledge and tips to our audience. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. All right, coming up, Logan Briggs, Gulf Shield Roofing in the house. We're going to talk about the roofing industry, insurances, how it's affecting what he's seeing out there as well. Coming up, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, in studio now, Logan Briggs joining us, Gulf Shield Roofing in the house. We're going to talk with him here in just a moment. Also, a lot of buzz around this property tax, possible elimination or reduction, significant reduction in property taxes. I love this Doge effect. The Doge effect happening. Of course, we're seeing the national, the national government or the big government, but also in Florida, DeSantis is working on some stuff. So I got a clip I'm going to play on that after this couple of properties, and we're going to talk with Logan Briggs, Gulf Shield Roofing, all things roofing related. We want you reaching out to the show hotline and talk to Logan Briggs, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, a couple of hot listings, and we'll jump into it. 14135 Cypress Circle from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We got a beautiful condo right here in Carrollwood, Florida. 222, 1,308 square foot single family home, villa style condo. Cypress clusters at Carrollwood Village. Beautiful property. Lighter colors on the interior. Stainless steel appliances. Gorgeous property. Lots of natural light coming in. Community pool and more at 14135 Cypress Circle in Tampa. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-carport property. Also, 10711 Old Sycamore Loop. This one's another beautiful listing that we have in Land O'Lakes, Florida. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. 46 square foot single family home. You have stainless steel appliances, lighter color throughout the home, tile. You have a huge backyard, fenced in backyard, plenty of room to play in that backyard. Community features, pool with 0 depth entry, playground, hiking trail, and extra wide paved walking paths. Check out 10711 Old Sycamore Loop, Land O'Lakes, Florida. Another beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. You can see all of our listings. And, of course, if you're thinking of buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Made in America. Logan Briggs back in studio. Welcome back, sir.
Yes, sir, Brandon. Thank you so much, man. Great to be here.
Absolutely. And speaking of made in America, a lot of your products are made in America, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I love that.
Our shingles are actually made up in Jacksonville,
Okay.
and that's where Owens Corning has a big, large plant up there that pretty much services all the Southeast.
Yeah.
I think they cover all the way from like Alabama all the way through Florida up to the Carolinas.
Yeah, and Ron Fuller was in studio. He had some good words to say about
Yeah.
Logan Briggs, Gulf Shield Roofing as well, and he mentioned that you're working with him on some of his Tri-County metals, and that's another American-made, Florida-made property product.
Yeah, Florida made, and it's a great organization. They cover the whole state too. I think they're going up into Georgia now, and that's because they do a great job. I mean, very high quality metal materials, the standing seam, the exposed passenger roofs that you're seeing that are becoming more and more popular after every storm. They're our supplier, and quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Made in America, and just good people there.
I love metal roofs, man. I wish we'd have did that, when we built our home, because we've had a couple of these storms. As you know, you helped me out. Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
And, we had just some of these no-name storms, little tropical storms during the summer, or not tropical storm. It would be, something that's not on the radar type of storm, I should say. And, we lose shingles. They fly off, especially mainly the ridges, right?
The ridges and the hips, especially during the high winds, Hurricane Milton, Helene, did probably 50 to 60% of our repair work were just hip and ridge shingles, which as you think would be an easy repair, but honestly they create a lot more damage. They expose some underlayment. You'll get some wood rot on your decking from those kind of repairs. They're very significant. significant.
Yeah.
But metal roofing will hold up a little bit better than shingle roofing for sure. I mean, their minimum wind warranties are around 150, where shingle is like some of the shingle roofing systems can get down to like 90 miles an hour, which I would hope no one in Florida would put that on. But I mean, our standard shingle that we offer, our Owens Corning duration shingle, that wind rating is 130 mile an hour.
Wow.
So, that's a tropical. No, sorry, that is a hurricane category 3.
Yeah.
So then you go to metal at 150. You're looking at a Cat 5.
Wow.
And those systems just hold up really, really well in those situations.
Yeah. So it basically just comes down to a decision, I would assume most of the time, about cost effectiveness too, right?
Yeah, I would. Whenever we're talking with our clients between shingle and metal and what's the best option for them, I mean, shingle is a very tried, tested product. Insurance companies don't mind it. They know how to write policies for it. But, at the end of the day, if you're going to be staying in your home between 5 to 10 years, then metal might be something you're interested in. If it's over 10 years, you're like, I'm burying me in the backyard. This is where I'm staying. Then metal is definitely a great option for you.
Right.
Because it's going to have that, because it's an investment grade roofing system, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be, a home, like a real estate flipper would never put a metal roof on. He's just going to be paying double and not get the money out of their home that they would want.
Right.
So a shingle roof is going to last you between 15 to 20 years. A metal roof should last 50 to 75 years.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 3 times that life as a shingle roof.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it will carry a higher price tag. But at the end of the day, if it's a long-term investment you're making in your home, then it's a great option for you.
Have you seen this or heard about this? And Dave, I sent over a clip for that too, but or a screenshot. But here's a clip about DeSantis talking about reducing or eliminating the property taxes.
Property taxes are local, not state. So we need to do a constitutional amendment, which requires 60% of voters to approve it, to eliminate them, which I would support, or even to reform, lower them. We should put the boldest amendment on the ballot that has a chance of getting that 60%. I agree that taxing land property is the more oppressive and ineffective form of taxation.
So that, I guess that was a clip I pulled down off of YouTube, but it's essentially where, hey, look, you own your home, you pay off your mortgage, you still have to pay the taxes ongoing, right? And that's just been a thing. But now there's a lot in the news around it. There's, of course, the Doge effect happening, and it's kind of like going into states now from the national government. But that would be something to just think of the attraction to Florida then if we were no state income tax, no property tax, right?
I mean, you think COVID attracted a lot of people here. Wait till that happens. I mean, the floodgates will open. I mean, be a dam blowing up. People getting into Florida. No property tax. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I think mine is up to almost $9,000 a year.
Yeah.
It started when I first moved to Florida in 2019. I think it was like $5,000. I mean, it's probably almost doubled.
Yeah, it goes up so fast.
Every year it goes up.
So your cost of living goes up, your taxes goes up. And we do have these homestead exemptions. It's up to $50,000. It's not much. One of the things that does help people if they're able to port their homestead. So if they've lived, figure an older couple, maybe they're seniors now and they're in their 60s, 70s, and they lived in this home for 30 years. They're able to port that homestead to their next home, which keeps their basis at the same low level than it would be on the new home. So that's one cool thing that we have in the state of Florida. But yeah, definitely. Hey, if it's a 60% vote, I can get behind that one.
I think I could get out there and vote. I bet I could probably.
I might even be on the corner doing some of the flag waving.
I could probably convince some of my neighbors to carpool to the polls.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be pretty simple to get people behind that.
We'll get some buses going.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. I've got State Rep Bernie Jacques coming on tomorrow's show. I'm going to ask him specifically about that. He's in the state legislature, so we'll find out from him. But in the meantime, we're talking to Logan Briggs here, Gulf Shield Roofing. Logan, what are some of your top tips, consumer advocate tips, things to do, things to look out for in the world of roofing? Yeah,
I mean, we just had 2 major storms at the end of the year last year, and we're going to be heading into rainy season in the next month or two. It's a time to get that roof inspected. If your roof is over 10 years old and you went through Hurricane Helene and Milton and you put up shutters, you need to have your roof inspected. Like yesterday, we had a bunch of rain. I felt like it was all day long. It was raining. Yep. Our phones were blowing up. It was nonstop from homeowners that just didn't do anything, didn't think they had damage, and now they've got water coming in. So call us. 813-599-0428. That's my direct cell phone. You can text that. We'll have a free estimate within 24 hours to you. We'll have that inspection done too, and just get some peace of mind heading into the rainy season before it rains every day.
Yeah, exactly. And now you got it inside the property. Now you've got your sheetrock on the inside affected, your ceiling. I remember my mom had a leak. Yeah, insulation. All that's got to go. And, so it turns into a much bigger mess. So reach out to Logan Briggs and his company, Gulf Shield Roofing. Give out that number again, Logan.
Yeah, that's my personal phone number, 813-599-0428.
And give them a call directly and just have that look. You free inspections?
Yeah, free inspections, free consultations. We'll answer any questions you have. There's a lot of questions homeowners have. A lot of them are, and I totally get it. They don't want to have a sales rep or consultant come into their house because most of these roofers might spend 2 hours and you feel like you're signing into a timeshare. We're not like that at all. That's not the culture of our company. We're out here to help people. If we can repair it, we'll repair it. If we can give you an estimate, we'll give it to you same day. Our estimates usually take maybe 20 or 30 minutes. It's not very long, but we want to educate our homeowners on the options and why we do the things that we do.
And definitely highly recommend Logan. He's done a great job with our listeners. I can personally say, firsthand experience, first-class organization. He does a great job. I wanted to get to this clip also. I want to squeeze this in because Charlie Kirk was here in Tampa, and he went over to USF, and this is a little tape from what he found in one of his callers.
Let me just tell you one number that Dr. Larry Arnn told us on our show, which everyone should commit to memory. You ready for this?
Sorry, that's the wrong clip.
Hearing a lot of the questions and seeing the perspective of college students and just what has changed and what their experience has been like in college. And what blew me away the most was hearing college students say that once a professor finds out, they're conservative, Christian, fill in the blank, that they're looked on differently and treated differently and graded differently. That was like the most.
Wasn't that chilling?
It was chilling for sure.
Isn't that terrible that a college student, here you have a 18, 19-year-old kid, they're going to college to pursue the American dream. They're going to improve themselves. They're going to better further their education in hopes of seeing a brighter tomorrow. Maybe some of these kids may be the first one in their family to graduate college or to at least attend college and try to better themselves. And just because they're Christian or they're conservative or it comes out and a professor finds out about it, now they're treated at a completely different standard. They're graded differently. I mean, this is the United States of America. These professors need to be hunted down in a sense, metaphorically speaking, of course. But they need to have some repercussions. I feel like right now this is in America a time of a rebirth in a sense, and it's coming up on our 250 years of being a country. Hey, let's root some of these people out. Let's put these bad actors in front stage and center and say, hey, look, why are you treating these kids because they believe in the Bible?
Yeah. Yeah, they pass a lot of judgment on people like that really quick. And one of the things I love about Charlie is, like, if you ever watch his YouTube, what he does on campus is where he goes there and has the dialogue, and he sits there and he's having communication with these college students in just such a toxic environment. It's like, man, at a college university, this is how these kids are thinking, or this is how they're treating him just for having different views, and he has zero college education. So he's sitting there talking to them, and they're just dumbfounded by the stats, the statistics, and his education that he brings to a debate.
Absolutely.
It's just fascinating to watch it, and I really admire that about him, that he's able to be that brave to go on there. And he is surrounded by thousands of people.
And now it's changed so much from the early videos. Right? The early
now
videos,
they know who he is.
Yeah, and now it's almost the opposite. It's like, wow, there's thousands of MAGA supporters. There's thousands of red hats. And he's giving out the hats. And, hats off to Charlie Kirk. And Trump owes a lot of that youth vote to him, to Scott Pressler. But also TikTok played a big role in that. So it's interesting to see how different social platforms can play into. And what it all comes down is to where you get your news from. Right. I mean, how much have we seen the mainstream media and some of these other outlets that we all know? It's where you get your news from and where you how you're deciphering that information
and their agenda. Behind who's their sponsor, who's their endorsement that's going to be paying for their ads and their salaries.
That's right.
Those are the people that they answer to.
That's right. All right, Logan Briggs, Gulf Shield Roofing for all your roofing needs, Tampa Bay and beyond. Reach out to Gulf Shield Roofing, longtime friend of the show. You can find all his information on our website at consumerqb.com. Logan, thanks for coming in, man.
Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, coming up, Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. We're going to talk with him. Gold, silver, platinum, some of these precious metals are at all-time highs or near it. We're going to talk with him about some of the things that he's doing down there in St. Petersburg, just off Central Avenue. David Reynolds Jewelry Coin coming up next.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
The team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own a top team here in Tampa Bay. We got a great, awesome all-star team as well. I got to tell you, that the team has just really blossomed over the last few years, and so real blessed and highly favored we feel to have such a great real estate team here in Tampa Bay. Also got my mortgage loan origination license, so buying, selling, investing, or looking to refinance, we would love to talk to you. Purchasing homes, of course, we're going to help shop the best deal for you as well. All right, hot listing here in Tampa Bay. We like to feature our listings on air and help our sellers sell faster for more money. We list vacant land, commercial properties as well. So this one's on McKeithen Road. We got 5 acres of land here on McKeithen Road, Dade City. This one is 5 acres. Zoning is for land, of course. You're going to be able to develop that based on what the county is going to allow you to do. We'll walk you through those steps on how to take that one step at a time. But your nearby attractions are Croom Wildlife Management Area and also water-based adventures at Withlacoochee River Park. You got kayaking, canoeing right down the road, small boat launches. McKeithen Road, Dade City, Florida. 5-acre corner lot parcel. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 4233 Oakfield Avenue, another listing from the team right here on Oakfield Avenue. Beautiful property. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. You got 1-car garage and an affordable home. Now, this one's been completely remodeled, fully remodeled in 2024. You got roof, AC, water, washer, dryer, granite countertops. So recently remodeled. You got replaced windows throughout as well. Short drive to downtown Newport Richey, Florida. And you're just minutes from the Gulf of Mexico, Anclote River, and Fred Howard Park. Check out 4233 Oakfield Avenue in Holiday, Florida, Pasco County. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Shane Socash, David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. Always nice to be on.
Absolutely. Well, good having you, man. We'd love to kind of check in with you and see what's going on. And, one of the things I love about our show is just the local feel that we have, all local expert contributors, and you've got the pulse of Pinellas County right there. What are you seeing over there at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin?
We're busy. I'm looking right now, and I can see the parking lot's full. We're doing a lot of buying. We buy all the jewelry-related things, gold, silver, platinum, jewelry, any form for gold and platinum, service sets, that type of thing, flatware, hollowware, anything basically made of precious metal for the most part we buy and sell. And then, of course, we stay nice and busy with the services. With our appraisals and 6 full-time jewelers and 3 appraisers and custom work. We're just staying busy.
What are some of the appraisal scenarios that you see typically come up? I know in my business, appraisals are, kind of a, the homeowner wants more and the appraiser is like, well, this is what the guidelines show and this is how we have to appraise it. What are you seeing in your space when it relates to
we
appraisal?
definitely deal with that. I think that maybe the jewelry industry is slightly less regulated than real estate. So we see a lot of Yahoo appraisals when people come in that, weren't accurate 25 years ago. Oftentimes you would, we have a situation in our industry where the people who sell you the jewelry will appraise it for you, which creates a conflict of interest, really.
Right.
And so then we have to make battle with that. If someone comes in with a $25,000 appraisal, they might have paid $16,000. They wrote them a $25,000 appraisal to make them feel good, and then they come in and we offer them 10, and they're upset. So
yeah.
All kinds of fun things as far as that goes, but. If you stick, we have 3 graduate gemologists on our team from Gemological Institute of America, and if you stick with companies that are trained that way, you really never get into that kind of pickle.
Yeah, exactly. Graduate gemologist, and when you look at that, the education is going to speak for itself. And I love the idea where you can really impress your significant other if you go in and have a little bit of thoughtfulness in terms of hey, my fiance or girlfriend, wife, she really has an affinity towards animal, porpoises or dolphins, right? Have you seen some really creative jewelry pieces that people come in and ask for?
I've been making jewelry for now, over 32 years, because I used to make it in high school before I became a jeweler. So I have, made some oddball ones. I made vertebrae for a spine because someone had spine fusion, and they wanted a pendant representing which vertebrae were fused. And I made a wedding band with paw prints because they were dog people. And that's just the two that come to mind. But in 32 years, I've done dolphins, I've done buffalo, I've done just about anything that people can have a fascination with. I had someone come in and they were Volkswagen nuts, and they wanted a VW emblem on their engagement ring. That was a recent one that I've done.
Wow. Yeah, kind of interesting. People have these different feels and likes and wants and needs, so that's interesting. And we're talking with Shane Socash. He's a longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. It's got a great location right there on Central Avenue in Pinellas, over in Pinellas and St. Pete. Great location. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so right here, Central Avenue and 40th Street, we've been in this location since 1981, and we've been on Central Avenue. We originally were downtown from 1971 until 1981, so we've been on Central Avenue since 1971, and recently, in the last few months, the founder of the company, Earl Waters, his middle name is Reynolds, came back to work for me. He's I don't know, 77-ish, something like that. And he said, "Hey, I want to use my brain and be active." And I was like, "Of course, come on down." So you can actually interact with the founder of the company if you come down.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love seeing that. I love hearing that. People staying active and being out there, and I guess what they say, right? There's only so much golf you can do, right, in your retirement years. Exactly.
Apparently, the limit for him was 12 years.
There you go. 12 years of golf. He's ready to get back to work. So Shane, exactly. Welcome. That's it. You welcomed him back in. That's awesome. Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, online at davidreynoldsjewelryandcoin.com. davidreynoldsjewelryandcoin.com. Buying jewelries, buying coins, all types of cool coins. What's the cool coins to be on the lookout for?
So, we always like the numismatic gold, which is like the pre-35 gold coins that were actually meant to be, $20, $10, $5, $2.50 pieces that were traded. We love that kind of stuff. We love Morgan dollars. We paid $6,800 today for one single Morgan dollar. It has about $20 worth of silver in it. You just never know what people are going to walk in with and knock your socks off.
Yeah, exactly. We've over the years we've had some pretty good stories. The buried cans of coffee cans in the backyard, and all those some really good stories.
Grandpa
there.
passed away, and Grandma and the son the grandson got out in the yard and started with a metal detector. And found, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of coins they brought to us over the course of a week or so.
Wow, hundreds of thousands buried in the backyard. That's awesome.
It was.
Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, thank you so much. Appreciate you calling in.
Love talking.
All right, good stuff. Check him out on Facebook as well, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin on Facebook. Hey, another great show. We had Jason Mears, insurance expert, Logan Briggs, and Shane Socash. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894.